Okay, I hope you can see it. I'll just write down the remainder theorem once more for you guys. So the remainder theorem was, if we have a polynomial p of x, okay, and Mridula, if you want, you can just copy it. Like you can just note this down so that you can remember. So we have a polynomial p of x and we are dividing it by a linear polynomial x minus a. Okay. Then when we do this division, then the remainder of this remainder is going to be equal to, it's going to turn out to be this polynomial, but you replace x with a. So it's going to be equal to p of a. So this is the remainder theorem. Okay. Now we were talking about the application of the remainder theorem. So, you know, one application of the remainder theorem, as we discussed in the previous class, is that if you have two polynomials, okay, and you're asking me, well, I don't really care about the quotient. I don't want to know what happens, like what the quotient comes out to be when I divide them. I just want to know what is the remainder. Okay, like for example, if we take a real life application of this, so let's say I have, let's say I have um, 751 notebooks. Okay, I have 751 notebooks and I have to divide this, I have to distribute these notebooks among 25 children. Now I want to know, I don't, right now, my problem, in my problem, I don't care, you know, I don't want to know how many notebooks each child got, but I want to know how many notebooks will be left. How many notebooks will be left over after I've done the distribution. So what will that be? By what will you come to know how many notebooks are left over?
And by dividing.
Yeah, okay, so you divide, and what is the thing that will tell you, okay, this is the number of leftover notebooks?
Remainder.
Exactly, right? That's why we call it the remainder, because it's the remaining thing, right? So this is like a real world application of this. Now, if you can convert this into a polynomial somehow, and this into, you know, x minus whatever, then you can just quickly apply the polynomial theorem and you can find out the remainder without having to do the division. Or let's say if we had a very huge numbers, okay, so the thing is, when you do, let's say if you have a very huge number like 6400002, okay, this is a, like this is what, 6,40,002. So let's say you have these many notebooks and the number of kids that you have is x minus, I think 8. I'm sorry, not x minus 8, what am I saying? Let's say the number of kids you have is 27. Okay, 27. Now, what I want to do is I want to know how many notebooks will be remaining after I have done this distribution. Now, what you can think that, okay, these are big numbers, and or let's say I can increase this number to 2702. Okay, so I have big numbers, and one way that we can deal with big numbers is we can just, you know, put them into a calculator and we can divide them. But what is the problem if you divide these two in a calculator? You will only come to know the quotient, right? When you divide two numbers in a calculator, what do you come to know? You come to know the quotient. You don't come to know the remainder. So if you want to know the remainder, then one way to do that is through the remainder theorem. So we'll come to the real life application of this in a while. Right now, let's move on to um yeah, let's move on to more questions. So the first question is, so I have this polynomial x cube minus ax squared. Now a, I have this over here, A. Oh, sorry. X cube minus ax squared plus 6x minus a. Okay. And you have to find out the remainder when this thing is divided by x minus a. So can anyone tell me how to approach? You have to find out the remainder. Yeah, what will be our first step? Okay, Mridula, what is p of x over here?
Ma'am, A.
1 second. Mridula, just a minute. Refresh yourself. Okay. Refresh yourself and then just look at the question again. I'm asking what is p of x? What is p of x? It's a
Ma'am,
polynomial, right?
ma'am, x cube minus ax
Yeah,
square plus 6x minus a.
right. Okay. Now this is our p of x and we are dividing it by this x minus a. So what is the remainder supposed to be according to our remainder theorem? Look at your remainder theorem right over here.
Ma'am,
Yes.
A.
Mridula. What is our remainder? What is the remainder?
Ma'am, polynomial of A.
Yeah, it is P of A. Acha, Mridula, can you tell me the difference between A and P of A? Okay, just a minute. Let me give you an example. Let's say my A is 2 and my P of X is x square plus 2x plus 8. Okay. So what is my P of A? So over here my A is 2 and my P of A will be what? Yes, Mridula?
Ma'am, 2.
Mridula, what is P of
Ma'am,
A?
ma'am, x square.
Yeah, you just replace, see, you look over here, P of X, P of A. So
Ma'am, 2
when we
square
are writing,
plus.
yes, when we are writing A in place of X, that means you just replace every single X with A. So that's x square plus 2a plus 8, which is 2 square plus 2 times 2 plus 8, which is 4 plus 4 plus 8, which is 16. So now, Mridula, is A, like A is 2 over here and P of A is 16. Are they the same thing?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, they're not the same thing, right? So please don't get confused. Now, again, I will ask you this question. In this question, we have to find the remainder. What is the remainder? Now tell me.
Ma'am, polynomial of A.
Yeah, P of A. So what is P of A, Hamna? Okay, Mridula, can you continue with that? What is P of A? You are muted.
Ma'am, A cube.
Yes.
Ma'am, A cube minus
Hmm.
A. Ma'am, A bracket opens A square plus
Yes.
B plus B A.
This is 6. Sorry, this is 6. Okay.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, 6A minus
Yeah.
A.
Yeah. So you see, this is A cube and this is also A cube, right? How is it? So this is A cube and this is minus A cube and this is plus 6A minus A,
Ma'am,
right?
they
So
get
these
cancelled.
two get cancelled. Very good. So what are we left with?
Ma'am, 5A.
Yes, 5A. So now this was P of A. P of A is equal to 5A. So what is the remainder?
Ma'am, 5A.
Yes, this is 5A. Hamna, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now Okay, so now what is the remainder when x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1 is divided by 5 plus 2x? Now, how are we going to do this? In this case, what is a? Let's see who is smart here. What is a in this case?
Ma'am, minus 5 upon 2.
How did you do it, Mridula?
Ma'am, 5 plus 2x is equal to 0.
Okay, yeah. So why is 5 plus 2x equal to 0? Because every single time that we had something like, we had a p of x divided by x minus, let's say x minus x plus 2, right? So we said over here a is equal to minus 2. How did we do that? We did that because we said x is x plus 2 is equal to 0. So essentially what we were subconsciously doing was that we were equating this part to 0, and we were basically finding out the root of this linear polynomial. Okay, the root of this linear polynomial. So what is a? A is the root of the linear polynomial. Okay, what is the linear polynomial? It is x minus a. So all right, over here, how are we going to find the root? We have to say, well, 5 plus 2x is equal to 0. And then 2x becomes equal to minus 5, right? The 5, the sign changes, it becomes minus 5. And x is equal to minus 5 upon 2. So, Hamna, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, this turns out that our a from here, a is equal to minus 5 by 2. So, now can you find the remainder? What is the remainder going to be? P of a. Now find out P of a. Yes. Anyone?
Ma'am, minus 35 by 8.
Minus 35 by 8. Okay, so Mridula is saying minus 35 by 8. All right. Hamna, have you solved it? Yes, Hamna. Can you please respond? Have you solved it? Okay, at which step are you, Hamna? Are you having any trouble?
Ma'am, I want to change my answer.
Okay. What is your answer?
Ma'am, it's minus 27 by 8.
Okay. Yes, that's right. Hamna, are you there? Okay, so we have no response from Hamna. Let's move on. All right. So we have another question. Let me just open my PDF. Yeah. So can you see question number 12? So I think in the previous lesson, we were able to solve this one, right? We were able to do the 11th one. So now let's do the 12th one.
Ma'am, we have done the 12th one.
Oh, we have done it? Okay, cool. Now let's do the 13th one. How are we going to do this? Any idea?
Ma'am, polynomial of A will be minus 1.
No. A will be minus 1.
Yes, ma'am.
A will be minus 1. And then we will see, well, okay, we will try to take, first we will take this one as our P of X. Then we'll put A, right? We'll take P of A, and A is minus 1. So we'll take P of A first for this, then this, and this, and then we'll do it for all the 4. So how will we know, like, what should our remainder be equal to, so that we will know that x plus 1 is a factor of that polynomial? What should the remainder be equal to?
0.
Yes, that's right. Mridula, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So come on, tell me now which will be the answer.
Ma'am, B option.
Okay, Mridula says B. Okay. Hamna? Hamna, are you there? Okay. So we see that if we put minus 1 over here, right? If we put A is equal to minus 1, or we can say X is equal to minus 1, right? Because from here, we can see that X is equal to minus 1. So if we put X is equal to minus 1 over here, and over here, and over here, and over here, I mean, this is just a constant term. So this will turn out to be minus 1 cube is minus 1. Then this is minus 1 squared is plus 1. And this is minus 1, but then it's multiplied with a negative. So it's, it becomes a plus 1, right? So then we have this and this get cancelled, but this is
Ma'am,
equal
here
to 2.
remainder will be 2.
Yeah. So over here, the remainder will be 2. So this is not a factor. So when we do the same, when we apply the same strategy for all the 4 options, we will see that the remainder comes out to be 0 when we put X is equal to minus 1 in option B, right? So this over here, this comes out to be 0. So this is equal to P of A, which is the remainder. And hence this is a factor. X plus 1 is a factor of this one. Okay. Let's move on to the next. 14th. How will we go about for the 14th one?
Ma'am, first we will find the polynomial of A.
Okay, so the thing is, do you see that over here, we have, this is like into two different brackets. So first let's simplify it. Let's, open the brackets, and then we'll see what P of X is equal to. Okay, this is basically our P of X, right? So let's open the brackets, Mridula and Hamna. So the first bracket is, just a second. So this is the first bracket, and the second one is this. So what is the second one going to be equal to? Does anyone remember? A plus B whole squared. Yes?
Ma'am, a square plus b square plus 2ab.
Yes. So then we have 1 squared plus 5x whole squared plus 2 times this into this. So let's do that. 1 squared plus 5x whole squared is actually 25 times x squared, and then plus 2 times this into this. So that is 2 into 5 is 10. So that is 10x. Is it clear till here, or am I going too fast? If it's not clear, if there's any doubt,
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
please ask. Okay, don't hesitate, or you can just ask me in the chat box. I can repeat. Right. So we have 25x square over here and over here. So they both get added up, and this gives us 50x squared, right? So I'm just going to write it here, 50x squared. And I hope you're noting this down so that it will be easier for you to refer in the future. So you have minus 1 here and plus 1 here. So these two get cancelled. And then we are left with this little thing, which is 10x. Okay. So can we take something common in from here? Is there
Ma'am,
something
10.
common? Yes?
Ma'am, 10.
10. Okay, very good. Hamna, can you name one more thing that is common in these two terms? Hamna? Yes, Mridula, do you see anything that is common
Ma'am,
other than 10?
x.
Yes. So we can take 10 as common and x as common. So if you take 10x as common over here, what are you left with? Yes, Mridula?
Ma'am, 40x plus 1.
40x. Really? Think about it. So, okay. So if you have 10x,
Ma'am,
and you have
5x.
to,
Ma'am, 5x plus
yeah,
1.
yeah, because when you multiply 5x over here, then it is going to become, this is 10x multiplied by 5x. So then it becomes 10 into 5 is 50 and then x squared, right? So yeah, be careful about those things. Okay. 10x times 5x plus, then over here we are left with 1. So what are the two factors? So we can see that we have factorized. Now this might be a new term for you. We have factorized this polynomial into we have basically made two factors. We have factorized it into two factors. And what are those two factors? 10x and 5x plus 1. So we have 10x, that is one factor, and the other is 5x plus 1. Hamna, is it clear? Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
okay, all right. So what will the answer be for question number 14? Yeah. Question number 14. One of the factors of this is what?
Ma'am, option C.
Okay, just a second. Let me just erase this. So you can see that over here we have, what are the two factors? Okay, Mridula, can you just look at this, like the factorization that we have done, and tell me what are the two factors?
Ma'am, 10x and 5x plus 1.
Yes. Now, can you look at the option that you said and
Ma'am, D.
tell me whether, yeah, this one, right? So 10x is one of the factors. Okay. All right. So another way of doing this could be, you can just use the factor theorem, right? So when you're over here, you have reached this point. Okay, you have reached this point, and from here you can say, well, I can just apply the factor theorem on each of these. I can say, well, over here a is equal to -5. Over here in option B, a is equal to 5. In option C, a is equal to 1 by 5, and in option D, a is equal to 0. So then you put a in each of you put a in this polynomial, which is our p of x, and then you find out p of a, and if that comes out to be 0, then that will be your factor. So that is one way to do it, and another way that you could do it was the one that we did. You can just factorize it, right? Okay, any doubts still here?
No, ma'am.
Hamna, if there are
No
any
doubts,
doubts,
ma'am.
please don't hesitate. I can answer it as many times as you guys want. Okay, so let's move on to question 15, and let's see who comes up with a trick way to do this, because obviously you're not going to take, you're not going to sit and calculate 249 squared like by hand. You're not going to do that. So let's see who comes up with a solution for this. Yeah, it's okay, take your time and think.
Ma'am, I guess it's 1.
Ma'am, 1 square.
Okay,
Ma'am, it's
Hamna says
option
1
A.
squared. Mridula,
Ma'am, option E. I guess it.
sorry Mridula, you weren't audible.
Ma'am, option A.
Okay, so both of you are saying option A. All right, now tell me this. Um, is a square minus b square the same thing as a minus b whole squared? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Hamna, what do you think?
No, ma'am, no.
Okay, what happened, Mridula? Why the sudden change in answer? Yes, Hamna.
No, ma'am. The answer is D.
Okay. And Hamna, how did you find that out? Yes, Hamna, would you like to share? Okay, see, so Mridula, firstly, let's just go through what I just asked. So a minus b whole squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab, right? It's not equal to a squared minus b squared. And how do we know that? Well, just take any two numbers as example. You can take let's say 5 and 2. So what is 5 squared minus 2 squared? Yes, Mridula. 5 squared is 25. 2 squared is 4. So 25 minus 4 is 21. Okay. Now let's take a look at what is 5 minus 2 whole squared. 5 minus 2 whole squared is 3 squared, right? Because 5 minus 2 is 3. So 3 squared, and that is 9. So these are two entirely different things. Okay. So that is why the first option over here is written as 1 squared, because they know that a lot of students aren't going to, because it's very intuitive to just think of it like, oh, 249, 248, they differ by 1. So the first thing that you do instinctively is you say that it's option A, but it's not. Why? Because if it was 249 minus 248 whole squared, then this would have been equal to 1 squared. Now, Hamna, would you like to share how you, how you came with this answer? How did you come up with this answer, Hamna? Yes, Fridula?
Ma'am, as in the question, ma'am, it's given in the form of a square minus b square.
Yes.
Ma'am, so we will solve this in a minus b, a plus b.
Okay, very good. So that is one approach. Very nice, Mridula. A minus B, A plus B, right? You can do that.
Ma'am,
So if you, yes, Mridula?
ma'am, in first we put a is equal to 249 and b is equal to 248.
Very good.
Ma'am, in first
Yes,
bracket, ma'am, it's answer. Ma'am, in first bracket, it's 1, and in second one, it's 497.
very good.
Ma'am, so the when we multiply 497 by
Yes,
1, ma'am, it will remain 497.
very good. So that's how we came up with this answer. Another way, that's excellent, Mridula. Thank you. Another way that you can do this, it's the longer way, but it's still another way. Let me just show you. So what you can do is you can say let x is equal, let x be equal to 248. Okay, now just see what happens. So this becomes x plus 1 whole squared, right? This becomes x plus 1 whole squared. Why? Because x plus 1 is 249. X plus 1 whole squared minus x squared, because this is our x, right? 248 is our x, so this becomes x squared. So what you can do now is basically this is x squared plus 1 plus 2x minus x squared. So you have this and this get cancelled, and then you have 1 plus 2x remaining. So that is again going to give you the same answer. Okay, that is going to give you 497 itself. So let's just do a few more questions. Okay. So the question is x plus 1 a factor of x cube minus x squared minus 2 plus root 2x? Yes, Mridula? You want to say
Ma'am,
something?
in all the such type of questions, ma'am, we will solve by the 1 plus 2x.
No, no, no. Whatever seems easier, whatever seems more feasible to do, right? So over there, our calculation became easy. Why? Because in both the brackets, in one bracket, we had the number 1, and in the other bracket, it was very easy for us to just, add 249 and 248. It's very easy. Nothing, it's no big deal. So we just added them. This became 497. And then we multiplied it with 1. So it was very easy for us. So whatever is easier for you, go for that method. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So yeah, is x plus 1 a factor of this whole deal? So basically this becomes our p of x, right? Now what do we do?
Ma'am, p of x is minus 1.
Again, no, choose your wordings carefully, Mridula. You're right, but you just used
Ma'am,
it wrong. Huh.
ma'am, the value of x in p of x is minus 1.
Yeah, yeah. So basically you mean to say that a is equal to minus 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh. Now what do we do? What do we find out?
Ma'am, p of x is x cube minus x square minus 2 plus root 2. Ma'am, bracket, ma'am, its whole is multiplied by x plus root 2.
Yeah. So now we have to find out P of A. Why do we have to find out P of A? Because our remainder is equal to P of A, and if this turns out to be 0, then what will happen, Mridula?
Ma'am, it's a factor of.
Yes.
Ma'am, it's
If this turns out to be 0, then it is a factor. Okay, now let's quickly find out what is this P of A. What is this remainder? Yeah.
ma'am, ma'am, when we multiply minus 1 by root 2, ma'am, it will be minus 1.
Where? In which term?
Ma'am,
Over here?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, basically what's happening over here is that I skipped a step basically. So this is -1, and over here also you have minus, right? So these two minuses, what do? Minus into minus is plus, right? So this basically becomes, let me just write it like this. This becomes, or shall I do it like this? Wait. So the step that I missed, or the step that I skipped, I will write it over here. So this is -1 cubed is -1. This is minus of +1. So that is again -1. And this over here, this is minus of -1 into 2 plus root 2. Is it okay, Mridula, if I just, interchange the positions of this -1 and this 2 plus root 2? So I just wrote this first and I wrote this later. That's all I did.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now do you understand, Mridula, why it became positive?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So are you getting the same answer or is mine wrong?
Ma'am, x plus
Yes,
1 is
Hamna?
not a factor of this
Very good.
polynomial.
Okay. Okay, excellent. So x plus 1 is not a factor. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So you have to find k. You have to find the value of k if x minus 1, and they're telling you that x minus 1 is a factor of 2x squared plus kx plus root 2. So you have to find the value of k. Yeah. How do we do this? Yeah.
Ma'am, value of k is minus 2 root 2.
Okay, Mridula says it's minus 2 root 2. All right, let's try to solve it. So p of x is equal to 2x squared plus kx plus root 2. And our a over here is equal to 1. So they are saying that it is a factor. So p of a is equal to 0. Okay, since it is a factor. So what is p of a? It is, and a is 1, right? So it is 2, 1 squared plus k, 1 plus root 2. So that is 2 plus k plus root 2. Okay, and this whole thing is equal to 0. So Mridula, would you like to change your answer at this point?
Ma'am, the value of k is -2, negative root 2.
Very good. Mridula, did you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. you. Let's do one more. Okay. Yeah, let's do just one more. Yeah. So you have to, yeah, is x plus 2 a factor of x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1? Yeah. Yes, would anyone like to give the answer?
Ma'am, it's not a factor.
Okay, Hamna is saying it's not a factor. Mridula? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, it's not a factor.
All right. So, this thing that we've been doing, this is called the factor theorem. Now, don't get confused. I will tell you what the factor theorem is. So, the factor theorem is nothing new. It is just what we have been doing in the past few questions. The factor theorem says that if p of x is a polynomial and the degree is basically greater than or equal to 1, but don't focus on that. So p of x is a polynomial, okay? And a is any real number. A is any real number, right? So it can be a fraction, it can be root 2, or it can be anything. So p of x is a polynomial and a is any real number. Then, and this is the important part, then p of a is equal to 0. If p of a is 0, then that means our I'm sorry, if p of a is 0, then that means x minus a is a factor. Okay. And you can also say the other way around, that if x minus a is a factor, then p of a is 0. So, this in math, we denote this by this relationship. Let me just show you. Okay. So if p of a is equal to 0, then that means x minus a is a factor. And if x minus a is a factor, then that means the remainder or p of a has to be 0. And it's nothing new. It's just the same thing that we've been using in our questions till now. So any doubts about this?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So in the next lesson, we will see how to factorize polynomials. So till now, we have factorized one polynomial, that was our 50x squared minus 10x, or I think it was plus, I don't know. Right? It was easy because, well, we saw two things that were common and we just factorized it. But what if over here you have something like 4, or you have something like, let's say, 1? Then what do you do in this case? In this case, we use a method that is called the middle term splitting. You can also use the factor theorem to factorize factorize a polynomial, but that is like a little bit lengthy. We will see that later on. But right now, the simple method is known as middle term splitting. Has anyone heard of this term before? This method before? Middle term splitting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Hamna, what about you? Have you heard of this before? Hamna, you there?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you haven't heard of this before. So that's great. We will be talking about this in the next class. Mridula, would you like to explain a little bit? How much ever it is you know about middle term splitting? What do we do in it?
Ma'am, as you given the example over here,
Hmm.
15x square plus 10x plus 1, when we do the middle term splitting, ma'am, the answer will be 15x square plus 5x plus 5x plus 1.
And how did you split this into 5x plus 5x? How did you do that? Was there a reason behind it?
Yes, ma'am, but I
Hmm.
can't explain like that. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, no problem. All right. So we will see this in the next class, okay? Because now time is already up. So we will see middle term splitting in the next class. All right. So are there any doubts in today's lesson?
No, ma'am.
All right. Then if there are no doubts, then you may leave. Thank you. Bye.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night.